Hello and welcome back to Tricolor Gaming with me, Fletcher. And welcome to a bit of an impromptu and a bit of an unscripted video going over the recent business news about Frontier Games. Overnight we've had a lot of information about basically Frontier developments last year. It doesn't make for good reading. I've read a couple of different articles. Let's just have a quick look. Basically, strictly from a financial perspective, Frontier has been in trouble this year. According to an article on Business Weekly, their share price has dropped by quite a bit, around 25%. And quoting for you from the article on The Standard, which is a British newspaper website, just to put it in perspective, that 25% drop in share price, it means that a company, Frontier itself, was valued at being worth £1.3 billion in 2021. Now in 2023, as of today, they are worth less than £60 million. So that is an almighty drop in terms of their financial worth. According to the article on Business Weekly, the company themselves believed they were going to make a revenue of around £108 million this year. However, updated guidance states that they're probably going to make around £80 to £95 million this year. And as a result, the board for the company now believes that they're going to make a loss of around £9 million for this year overall, which is all not very positive news. We also know that according to PC Gamer, or the PC Gamer article for this, that Frontier's chairman David Wilton is stepping down from Frontier's board and is going to be replaced by their non-executive director Ilse Howling. And we know that Frontier have been struggling all year. We know that in June, Frontier dropped their third-party publishing label, Frontier Foundry. And then in October, there was news of layoffs. And we don't know precisely how many people are being laid off, but from what I can see, most people believe it to be between 15 to 20% of their staff. And the company is trying to reduce their costs by about 20%, which is all not very positive. Now, what has been the reason for this? Well, Frontier have come out with a few different reasons for this. According to the Gaming Bolt article, quoting, Frontier's move to diversify its game portfolio during the last 5 years, including third-party publishing and new games in adjacent genres, has not delivered the anticipated success. And as a result, the company is going to refocus on their management titles, that is titles like Planet Coaster and Jurassic World Evolution. So basically what Frontier are saying is that their move to pivot towards a more diverse group of games, and we have seen that in the last 5 years. They released their Formula 1 management games, which I have played. They've obviously got Elite Dangerous, and their most recent game is actually a Warhammer game, and we'll be talking more about this Warhammer game in a minute. But basically what they've been trying to do is diversify their game lists, essentially, and it has failed. According again to the Gaming Bolt article, what they call their management games, so that's Planet Coaster, Planet Zoo, Jurassic World Evolution and Jurassic World Evolution 2, all 4 of those games were able to make a profit within a month of release, and then over the next year were able to make 100% return on the investment. So they were financially very successful, and the 3 games that had been on the market for longer than 4 years, Planet Coaster, Jurassic World Evolution and Planet Zoo, had all achieved a cumulative return on investment of over 250%. So basically their park building games are all economically and financially really good for Frontier. It is the newest games that they have said are struggling to find a good audience. According to the Standard article, Frontier has said that sales of Warhammer Age of Sigmar Realms of Ruin, which is their most recent release and a title based on the popular Warhammer board games, were below expectations despite positive reviews of the game. And that highlights that it's apparently, according to the Standard, the second flop in a matter of months, as Frontier has also struggled to shift copies of F1 Manager 2023, and the 2022 edition of F1 Manager has also been a disappointment. According to the PC Gamer article, the Warhammer game has struggled to find an audience, with just 187 concurrent players at the time of writing, according to SteamDB, and a total of 737 Steam reviews that have given the game a mixed rating. Now, I haven't played the Warhammer game. Of the new games that Frontier have released, I have only played F1 Manager, but being a bit curious, I headed off to go and have a look at the reviews on Steam for the Warhammer game, because I was curious to see what are the problems that have been raised by the Warhammer game, because Warhammer is a brand that has a huge amount of weight behind it. It is a hugely popular franchise, and for a Warhammer game to not get an audience is pretty concerning. Having a look at the negative criticisms in the Steam reviews, this is just a list of some of the common ones I've seen, and see, as I'm listing this, have a think about where else you've seen these criticisms before. Prolific bugs and glitches, as well as random unexplained crashing to desktop. Badly graphically optimized for the PC version. A lack of content for a very high price tag. Clunky gameplay that feels untested. Compared to other similar games, lacking in content, style, and ease of play, a lack of coherent balancing that seems to make any sense, too bare bones but showing potential, and artificial intelligence for both friendly and enemy units that was balked up. And just thinking about my complaints about Formula 1 Manager, again, the artificial intelligence was very lacking on Formula 1 Manager when I played it. There was a lack of good content within there. The gameplay as part of F1 Manager that I played really failed to grasp the intricacies of Formula 1 as a sport that they were trying to represent. And it was also, I think, too expensive for what it was. So that was just my view on Formula 1. And those negative reviews of Warhammer, those negative criticisms, I think they are similar negative criticisms that we all had about Jurassic World Evolution 1 and all had about Jurassic World Evolution 2. At least some of those that I think are still applicable to Jurassic World Evolution 2, especially when it comes to the bugs, glitches, and the lack of optimization. And I think that's really damning for Frontier as a company. It seems like they keep making the same mistakes over and over again when they release a new title. The fact is, at the moment, we are all suffering a cost of living crisis, and spending £60 on a brand new game is a pretty big investment. In fact, just for me, so 60 quid is the cost of my electric bill for a month, is the cost of my water bill for 2 months, and it's the cost of my food shopping for a month. So that's a lot of money to invest into a new product. And as a result, that product has to meet a minimum level of quality and polish. And it's not helped that this year we saw the release of Baldur's Gate 3, a game that really demonstrates huge high levels of polish, high production values, and extraordinarily great gameplay and replay value. A game that actually has a well-crafted and unique narrative, Frontier. And Baldur's Gate 3 was actually less expensive on release than Jurassic World Evolution 2 was. So I think this all highlights the problem that Frontier has at the moment and why they are having a difficult time of it at the moment. They have to improve the quality of the products they are releasing. Releasing bug-filled, glitchy games that are poorly optimized and lacking in content day one is simply not a good strategy for winning over fans of your product. At the moment, I spend money on Jurassic World Evolution 2 because I play it for YouTube and having the content is useful. If I wasn't doing YouTube, I'm not sure I would be spending money on their DLCs as regularly as I am. In fact, I probably wouldn't have got most of the Jurassic World Evolution 2 DLCs because I'm simply not interested in a lot of what they do. And the game itself still has a lot of bugs, a lot of problems, a lot of lack of optimization. And like I say, I played F1 Manager And I haven't been convinced to go and buy the other F1 Manager games because their first attempt at it was, I just saw the exact same problems that I saw with Jurassic World Evolution 1 and with Jurassic World Evolution 2. Now, I haven't played their new Warhammer game, and I haven't played Elite Dangerous, and I know those are two other games that are certainly struggling at the moment. If Frontier doesn't start investing in playtesting and investing in actually releasing a content-rich, well-polished and crafted experience day one, then I don't think that they're really going to improve. Now, they have confirmed that they've got new management games coming out every year for the next 3 years. We don't know what those are yet, but the common consensus seems to be that one is going to be a new Planet Coaster. We have no idea if a Jurassic World Evolution 3 is included within that, but I would be very surprised if it was. And I highlight this, and I know this sounds quite a negative video, and I don't mean it to. I am literally just quoting the information that is available on the news, essentially. I don't want Frontier to fail. I mean, I still hold Planet Coaster and Planet Zoo to an extremely high standard. I think they are great games, and I think they demonstrate what Frontier can really do when they put the time and the effort to provide a polished, content-rich experience. And much of my annoyance at Jurassic World Evolution 1 and later at Jurassic World Evolution 2 on day one especially, is a result of the fact that I know they can do it. I know they can release well-polished, highly good games. However, both Jurassic World Evolution as a franchise, the Formula 1 Management as a Manager as a franchise, and Warhammer as a franchise, these are brands. Frontier is, it seems to me, trying to use the brand to make the money as opposed to releasing a good quality product. And that's not a good, I don't think that's a good line for success. I want Frontier to do better. I want to see them get back to a point where they are not in, financial trouble, and when they're doing very well, because they're also a British company, and living in Britain and seeing how many companies are having problems at the moment, we don't want to lose another British company. And seeing how sort of Microsoft and EA and everyone else are buying up companies, we don't want to see Frontier end up in the hands of someone like EA now, do we? Where EA Games would probably sell us each individual dinosaur for a ridiculous amount of microtransaction money. We don't want to see that. We want to see Frontier being good on its own. But they have got to look at what's happened in the last few years and actually look at if I can go onto Steam and look at the negative reviews and see, well, this is the problem, games that are released with problems in buggy messes, lack of optimization, a lack of content, too expensive for what they are. I think Frontier need to also take a look at the negative criticisms. Take a look at what people are negatively saying about their products, and maybe take it all as constructive criticism. But yeah, that was just my thoughts, a quick impromptu video. I'm literally recording this half an hour after I've woken up, having looked at all these articles. So very impromptu video and unscripted, so I apologize if it was a bit rambly. Let me know down in the comments, what do you think about all this news that we've had about Frontier? Do you think it's a fair assessment that Frontier seem to have a problem with releasing buggy, unpolished games? And what do you think Frontier should do to improve their financial position? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you have not already done so, and I will see you in the next video. Until then, stay safe and goodbye.